It's about base designs, and here are probably two of the best clans in the world as far as it comes to base design. I can't wait to see what they have in store for each other.
Let's get it hyped up for the last match of today. It's Group B, last match, the big clash of the Titans, the Dark Looters versus Top of Japan.
I like that. Clash of the Titans. You're talking about two of the top players today, or top teams today, duking it out to find out who gets the first seed, because the seed matters. The seed matters. The first seed for today will go against the second seed from yesterday. So you do get a bit of an advantage if you do win today.
Yes, you do want to come out on top. That makes sense, and that is absolutely true, because you may get what they might see as a slightly softer matchup. But again, Boom attacking Stardom on Top of Japan, and again, a base that I have to say I've never seen before.
Absolutely. I mean, these base designs, especially from Top of Japan, just seem always to be a little bit tricky. And the first attack we're seeing today is, again, from Boom, who has 3-starred both of his attacks today. We're looking for a perfect 3.
Oh, that
it's a Queen Walk Laloon, Galadon.
Let's go. Queen Walk Lalo is a beautiful attack. Hard to execute. In my mind, one I've never really been great at. Watch the Queen go down. Oh, man, is she? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. That Queen
survived.
forces a Queen's ability and a rage spell to keep her alive, but it's absolutely essential that you do whatever it takes to keep her up. And I'm sure Boom was not planning for that to happen.
Oh, man, look, there's like 6 defenses firing on her right there. Good thing those healers are enraged, because here comes the Lava Hound and the archers. And man, that was unbelievably close. You almost could not see the Queen's health bar anymore, Klaus. And having to drop the rage spell and the ability, definitely not the ideal situation for Boom.
Look at that little minion sneaking up in behind, helping out with all those lava pups. Definitely a time waster here, but things are looking okay. The Queen should, if she sticks to the program, go up and handle that Eagle Artillery and the enemy Queen now. So this is definitely a really good value.
And you'll notice something unusual here, Klaus. The Eagle Artillery is already activated even when you just have the Queen charge portion of this attack up. That usually doesn't happen this early. It's because of the support troops that Boom dropped in. The Eagle went live, but it didn't matter. The Queen got it down before any of the air troops that are coming in the top of the screen here were affected.
There we go. So with that Town Hall being popped, all of the balloons coming onto that Giga Bomb, and it goes off, but no avail. The Warden's ability works out, and now the balloons are going to just slide on through this base.
Haste spells, the balloons getting over to that next Wizard Tower. Check the bottom of the screen, though. Wizard Tower, multi-target Inferno, air defense at the bottom. Got to worry about those. Archer Queen, well, that's about the end of that.
Yeah, that's about the end. I think that a Lava Hound kind of went wayward, went way off in the wrong direction, and you got to have, especially for a Laloon, you have to have every troop accounted for and playing nice and doing the right things, and whenever things go awry, you know, it just doesn't work out for you in the end. So Boom looks like he will not go a perfect 3 for 3 today, but still getting 2 for 3, putting his clan in a very good position moving forward.
Top of Japan, you can hear they're very animated over there right now. Again, these guys, I would say, probably taking more pride and more excitement in watching their bases defend than any clan we've seen here. And it's really cool to see, because it's so important to remember that base design is a critical part of being a top competing clan. And if you want to advance and have your shot at $1 million, you've got to be able to put together incredible bases.
And you guys, you got to know that they know each other's bases. They know where all of the traps are. So by watching their teammates, they know there's a giant bomb there, and they want to make sure that the enemy team runs into it, and they love it when they see that those giant bombs blowing up some troops.
So Boom with a 78% right there. Still puts his average incredibly high for the day after 2 triples to open things up. But again, I think a lot of it came down to that beginning, having to use the Queen's ability and a rage spell as a Queen charge attacker. That's something that you never want to have happen. You want to be able to keep those separate, and especially the ability. You want to be able to save that for late once the Queen's gotten in. You saw at one point she had like 6 defenses firing on her. That's the time that you want to be able to pop that ability.
That's right, because then they redirect, they hit something else that she can start picking them off and pick off enough to where then she can then survive once they retarget.
Yep, all right, so we've got Stardom from Top of Japan going after Vale from Dark Looters. This base actually looks familiar to me, like maybe it's a base that was at least similarly designed by one of the Greek attack players earlier.
I was about to say, yeah, you're right. This was a very similar base design to something that we've seen. They have the Ring of Fire, or the Wall of Fire,
firewall,
the firewall at the north. They have the open town hall section on the south. It looks like this is either the same one we saw earlier or one that was rotated 90 degrees.
Yeah, to see a base like this show up twice in a day like this really makes me think, well, one word, screenshot. Okay, so let's watch as this attack starts out. The healers and the Lava Hound down early because they were able to pull out that defensive clan castle quickly.
That's right. Now with the Ice Golem leading ahead, we're going to see the Ice Golem should walk into the base and start. Nope, that Tesla's going to troll. Nope. Now is that
turn around? No.
Nope. Ice Golem's going to keep on walking off to the left and leaving the Queen behind. And the Ice Golem, for a moment, stole the healers. That was almost really scary.
Yeah, and that freeze radius is going to be outside of the Giga Tesla, which hurts things a bit as the Archer Queen did get the Town Hall down eventually, and now she's stuck in the tornado trap.
Wow, if you look at the health of the healers, they almost all died. And with that single healing spell, brought all of them all the way back up. There is a ton of value there, so this is good. Queen Walk is still alive and running, even though she's charging into practically all of the Expos at the same time.
Trying to help her healers stay up with those skeletons, and then she's got multiple Expos firing on her. There goes the ability there. You can see exactly what Klaus was talking about, as all of those defenses retargeted on the archers for a moment, gave the Queen an opportunity to try to stay alive a little bit longer. Good heal spell. Queen's going to step out of it in a moment, but the healers are going to use it.
You know, we didn't even mention this until now, but there are 6 dragons in this attack strategy. I love to point out the different strategies that are being used here today. Dragons, of all things, and these being sent in from the backside of a sweeper on the left, and then a Stone Slammer sent clearly to take out the sweeper that's going to affect them.
Yeah, and did you notice the late wall breakers? With less than a minute left in this attack, wall breakers got the Queen in to take down the Eagle Artillery. She has gotten it out of the way. It did get a set of shots off that's going to hit some of those dragons at the top, but the Warden ability was there to prevent any damage.
But the Queen did go down, so now it's all up to these dragons. I mean, this is already a 70%, and all the dragons are still up. But then you got to think about time. You got to think about that sweeper and that air defense on the backside. This is definitely not going to be a 3-star, but it's going to be a commandingly high percentage 2-star.
And we should see well over 80%, but you're right, Klaus. Lots of big defenses on that right-hand side there. That Expo way down at the bottom, air defense, and that Inferno Tower. Warden trying to help out, but again, top of Japan happy with the numbers. And if we're looking at attack for attack, that was a higher percentage than the Dark Looters put up with their first attack.
Putting top of Japan ahead right now, it's going to be, I have a feeling, Galadon, it's going to be neck and neck going forward. I mean, we have, again, Dark Looters and top of Japan, 2 of the best clans in the world, and it is going to be an absolute, it's going to be a marathon, I think, for us to just keep up.
Absolutely. There's p.e.k.a. ready to go for Dark Looters. Perhaps the favorites coming into this. I would honestly think in today's round that we expected top of Japan and Dark Looters to perform the best, and indeed they have. p.e.k.a, he's put up a 3-star earlier today. He's definitely planning for another. And again, this is not the first time I've seen this base today, Klaus.
I think this is mind games. I really do. I think this is psychological warfare, where they're trying their best to just throw off their attackers and showing them familiar bases, because you know these players are good enough to know that if their base has been tripled on stream, then everybody else already knows where all the traps are.
Oh, Queen's ability early there, Klaus. She had to pop it, but you've got 7 bat spells, and a good point. And I wanted to just remind viewers of something that Klaus pointed out earlier today, or was it yesterday, how a base, even though it has what is almost exactly the same design, can change so differently, can be such a different base with the change and the movement of the traps, Teslas, mines, and bombs.
Absolutely, the traps mean everything, and you can also just swap a couple of defenses, and it changes everything too. So, it may be really intelligent, as we keep joking about, take a snapshot of this base. It really might be smart, because then you can just get it, move things around just a little bit, and you've got yourself a new base.
I can tell you I'm not joking. I'm definitely looking at these bases later and maybe making videos about them. All right, let's watch as p.e.k.a moves in. He's got the Warden's ability right there. Then looks like that Town Hall taking a while to go down. They're working on it, and man, slowly but sure. There goes your Town Hall. There's a p.e.k.a moving past at 44%.
And a new record, Galadon, for the bat spells. The bat spells.
What?
7 bat spells.
Here they come.
They've been deployed on the right-hand side.
So this is a bat bomb. This is a bat bomb deployment. You notice that it was a freeze, a rage, not in that order, and then the bat spells. You want to drop the rage first, then the freeze, because the freeze has a shorter duration. Now the bat spells are going to come out, and really this whole area of the base is getting annihilated.
Wow, they got through that Wizard Tower just in time. I don't know. I think Dark Looters may be aiming for some easy or simple 2-star attacks here because they know that they're ahead, and as long as they stay above the halfway point, they're going to move on to the playoffs.
You're telling me you think Dark Looters is trying to 2-star?
I don't know.
I would never guess that. But personally, I'm thinking this was designed to be a triple right here. And it looks like it may stall on these defenses down here at the bottom as we round down to about 45 seconds left. And again, this is something that we see so often as the Queen drags her healers into harm's way, and they get absolutely fried by the multi-target Inferno.
But there's just no way to predict that, Galadon. I mean, you're looking at the base, and you're trying to figure out which way everything's going to go, but at the end,
to be more thoughtful.
It's a dice roll, really. I mean, everything goes in there, and they do their thing, and it's impossible to predict everything.
Well, I blame it on tunnel vision. I mean, you see that helmet that she has on? She's focused on what is in front of her. She's not looking behind her. She doesn't realize that the healer's like, hey, wait, there's this thing burning me.
That's probably true. She
not what
can't see anything with that dang helmet on, man. Look behind you every once in a while.
And it's funny because she will turn and take out like skeleton traps if they're on her healers. So applause from both sides. Time runs out. p.e.k.a with 80%. So consistency, if nothing else, right here.
Yeah, these guys are firing back and forth. A 78 and then an 80 for Dark Looters and an 80 for Top of Japan. All 2-stars so far. The percentage is slightly in the favor of Top of Japan right now, but just barely. We'll see what they're able to pull off here in the next attack.
Exactly. We'll see what their second attack is, and it looks like it's going to be Ayase. These guys, the pride of Japan, representing their country, and I gotta tell you, I mean, it's just so exciting to watch these guys. The excitement that Top of Japan has, I feel like they've been by far the most vocal clan that we've seen, celebrating not only attacks, but celebrating defenses. I mean, these guys, maybe more than anybody here, know the true value of a well-designed base, and they're congratulating each other on successful defenses.
Absolutely, and that's huge. I mean, we've been hammering it home this entire weekend, Galadon. It's all about not just being able to 3-star every base, because if you can 3-star every base and then your bases get 3-star, guess what? You don't win.
It's a wash. You haven't gained any stars for your clan.
So you've got to be able to hold up defensively and be able to execute these amazing 3-star attacks at the same time to be an excellent clasher.
Exactly. And to break it down further, if you're putting up an 80% 2-star and you're holding your average defense to under an 80% 2-star, then that's a win. That is where you're giving your clan that advantage.
And you know these clans are keeping track of all that as well.
Yes, they have this down to the 10th or the 100th of a percentage point, I'm sure. They'll know before us what needs to happen in these final attacks. Right now, Ayase, though, working that Queen charge, and you see she's still walking right now.
And she's walking over toward the Town Hall. That's definitely a safe play, making sure that they get this 2-star. They do have a jump spell, though, and a king now starting on the funnel on the right-hand side. So you can definitely see this attack kind of lining up. And I hate to say it once again, Galadon, but I think this base is a familiar one.
It does look like a base we might have seen earlier in the attack composition. P.e.k.a Smash, also familiar. Barb King on the right-hand side has discovered the Tesla farm. So he and his Barb's going to work on that. Looks like a P.e.k.a and some bowlers over there. Most everybody else down into the Town Hall, and here comes the defensive CC.
Warden ability for that Gigabomb, that CC under poison, so everything is, again, looking picturesque as we move along through this base. This Queen working on the lava pups, a baby minion to come help out. Top of Japan yelling at each other, yelling at the attacker. You got this, buddy! And a rage spell now on some P.e.k.a, wiping out that Eagle Artillery in just under a second, I'm sure.
Yep, so you got a multi-target Inferno burning everything. Check out the Ice Golem freeze right there, freezing about half a dozen different defenses, Klaus. Again, the value of an Ice Golem on offense has just been insane ever since this last update. Gotta love it. Ayase past 70% now, but 2 Inferno towers are still burning brightly.
Yeah, bright and beautiful, but again, hey, we have 2 free spells, so watch a free spell probably on this. Yep, there it is, the Inferno Tower. He tried to cheat his freeze over to the Wizard Tower, but it didn't matter. The Queen got it with her ability, and this is looking really solid.
Last freeze.
Queen
is going to be on that.
Oof.
There it is.
But the Queen did go down, Galadon, so this is looking This is looking too close. This is looking way too close to call right now.
Oh, 46 seconds left, but that Inferno Tower is just going to be too much. Top right of your screen, though, how many P.e.k.kas are there? Looks like 2 and 2 bowlers, maybe?
I mean, that P.e.k.ka on the right.
seconds.
Watch this P.e.k.ka on the right. He's coming in toward the,
Oh,
or
man,
she's coming in toward the Wizard Tower.
Right.
And now, if we're lucky, she'll go into
that next enclosure? Will she go after the cannon? She's going after the Inferno.
That's good, but there's too many point
left.
defenses. No, it's not going to be it. It's not going to be that 3, but a 94, potentially 95 if she gets there quick enough. That is a huge percentage and definitely, again, puts top of Japan on top of Dark Looters.
Yeah, check it out. She does finally get through the wall. Ayase with a 94% 2-star. Definitely given a big advantage right now to top of Japan, 174% to 158% total damage.
Yeah, current update on the group. I mean, before we went into this, it was about top of Japan needing 9 for a tie with Quebec Fury, and the Dark Looters only needing 6 stars for that tie. So I guess the 6 stars might just fall right after the next attack. But with that update, we see everyone is still very close, and top of Japan still has to deliver.
All right. Dropping the next attack is
Knowledge!
That's right.
I love it. And he's got an exclamation point.
Teacher of Clash of Clans, teaching the rest of us how to attack. And again, ooh, Electro Dragons, unusual. Not something we've seen yet today, I don't think, Faust.
But look at the base design, Galadon. Let's analyze this baby for a minute. Everything is so tight and compact together that Electro Dragons, if things go right, there's a lot of value for the Electro Dragons Chain Lightning. If you get a rage spell on several Electro Dragons, that Chain Lightning can just blast through a base. And it's exciting to see.
Well, let's watch these heroes charge in. No doubt he wants to get the CC out. He wants to try to get that defending Archer Queen as well. He had to use both. The King's down. He had to use the Queen's ability. And unfortunately, the Lava Hound and the defensive Queen is still untouched, Klaus.
And that's never a good thing, but it looks like that was part of the plan. I'm just watching and trying to figure it out with these Electro Dragon attacks, especially on a base like this. But notice another point on this base design, that L or that 7 that's around that Town Hall at the very top. I mean, how are the Electro Dragons going to get there?
Good point. Let's watch the pathing, because I don't think you'll see a Tesla pop up right there, because the design of that gap is to prevent the units from going. And sure enough, they're going to head down towards the Clan Castle, but they're close enough that I think we'll see at least a couple head over to the Town Hall. Sure enough, they do. There's a nice Warden ability as they're working on it. First star for damage. There's your second star.
There's that second star. I was waiting on it. There you go. So this is looking really good at this point, because we got a lot of living Electro Dragons, but no rage spells left, and all of the Teslas down there at the very bottom of the base.
Well, we just lost almost all of the Electro Dragons at once there, Klaus. And surprisingly, it's this Stone Slammer that's putting in work over the Tesla farm. Double dragons come out of the wall, Wrecker. And this dragon on the bottom left actually is going to get a lot of value. That Expo. That Expo, is that set to ground and air? It's hard to tell for me.
It is, yes. I think it's ground and air. So both clans celebrating. Dark Looters seeing a high percentage 2-star. Top of Japan seeing what they believe is a defended 3-star, so no 3-star there for Knowledge. With a couple of oh no, these dragons are going to lock onto this Hound. Nope. The Hound just kind of floats on by. The dragons don't even care.
Yeah, the Hound's going to go after that Archer. Check out the minions. Oh, minion finally triggers the tornado trap right at the end of this attack. But 92%. And check out the E-Drag. Going to move on until that Expo takes it down.
Ooh, I was about to say if that Electro Dragon has health, we're in good shape. And unfortunately, no, it's not going to be the triple, but 92%. These clans are still so neck and neck.
That had to shift the overall percentage advantage towards Dark Looters. That's the first attack we've seen from Dark Looters over 90%. But top of Japan, Ayase had just put up a 94. So it's tough. And again, top of Japan has only conducted 2 attacks so far. So we'll see. But it's great sportsmanship you're seeing here, cheering from both clans. And it's exciting to watch these guys compete. And both of them certainly trying to advance to tomorrow's playoffs. Last war of the day.
And it's possible, even if we do have a loser here today, Galadon, that both of these will advance. So we need to see to the very last minute.
I mean, I had just bit my tongue because I told you that Dark Looters might never safely 2-star. That E-Drag attack may have been an attempt at a safe 2-star, because Dark Looters knows that it's not as critical to 3-star right now as it is to make sure they grab enough stars to advance.
I think the best way to put it, and we've heard Dark Looters guys talk like this before, is they're just not taking as many risks. I think that's what it's all about. They're not really going for safe 2-stars. They're just not going for risky attacks. If they can get that 2-star, a high percentage, then they guarantee their position in the playoffs tomorrow, and that is ultimately what they need to be able to advance to the World Championships later on this year.
Definitely. And here comes Earth from top of Japan. He's taking down that defending Barb King right now, while 2 Expos were firing on the Queen as well, so that's why he had to use her ability early. Just too much damage incoming to the Queen. Her ability is used, and now you've got the King on the far side, and you can see how this attack is getting set up right now, Klaus.
It's pretty clear the plan. The jump spell leading into that Town Hall. There's no jump spell for getting into the Eagle artillery compartment, so that's really interesting, actually. There's a, I don't want to say a safe 2-star, but that looks like one, at least.
Exactly. You've got that firewall of Inferno Towers. Surprisingly, maybe the first time today, we've seen 2 of 3 Inferno Towers set to single.
Oh, wow, you're right. So that's a firewall, but it's different with that Town Hall going down to 45% now, 46. As soon as they get that 2-star, they can breathe easy knowing that they have probably clinched a position in the playoffs. But again, I don't have math in front of me, but they're looking really good. If they keep this up, they're in a really good position.
But there's also the matter of pride. You know that each of these clans wants to defeat the other. Top of Japan and Dark Looters absolutely out in front right now. But you know they want to go home number 1. They want to defeat the opposing clan, because this is going to be a big advantage. And what was up with that freeze?
There you
right
go.
There?
That's the new meta. Freeze the grass. I mean, in the past it was heal the grass, but now it's freeze the grass.
I've frozen the grass many times. I might even be able to lay claim to designing that strategy.
I mean, look at the scenery. We got lava everywhere and stuff. I mean, freezing something and probably feels nice.
Galadon Gaming, freezing the grass since 2015? I don't remember when the freeze spell came out. But anyway, Earth, top of Japan, 3/4 of the space down. And again, a solid attack, going to be in the 70s. No chance at a triple right here. But things have gone relatively well. Looks like he's closing in on 80%, Klaus.
And especially in this war, every building counts. So you can see they're trying their very best to deploy troops intelligently and then waiting to see what happens after everything has been dropped. We got a minion. Is that cannon going to go down? Nope. That's unfortunate. But 82% 2-star for Earth against Knowledge. And wow, at a glance, the clans look dead even.
I'm not even going to try to do the math.
I saw
dead even.
I saw you looking at it thinking you would do them. I was hoping you would.
Didn't
but
have quite enough time.
These 2 clans are so close, neck and neck. Hopefully we'll see the numbers here in just a moment after this replay here. But as we speak, Valet preparing for his 3rd and final attack in this round robin. He's 3-starred earlier today too, isn't that right, Gally?
Yep, Valet. Yes, Valet has dropped a 3-star earlier, and just my rudimentary math skills did tell me the top of Japan was ahead. I think I had calculated it out to be about 1.2%. Oh, look, what do you know?
Oh, lucky you.
All right, here we go. Ring base one more time for Earth from top of Japan.
All right, so here we are, Valet, starting off the attack with some Electro Dragons. And we've definitely seen this base before here, Galadon. This is that anti-2-star base that was actually kind of stunted. I think it was like a 56% attack, 2-star, last time we saw it.
Is that right? Well, it's a base that's unusual, but proving to be very, very effective against today's meta. And again, watching the way that the storages are protecting these Infernos, remember that storages have such a huge amount of hit points, a lot of players will use them in place of walls for base designs.
That's right. You want to make sure and keep your troops away from the key defenses and away from that town hall. And so using the buildings with the higher HP is base building 101. Now we're seeing some Electro Dragons diving into this base, and we have some Wall Wrecker as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how these are used, Galadon. I mean, with the the Grand Warden leading the way here.
Well, we talk about anti-3-star bases being the most common. This is absolutely what you would call an anti-2-star base. The hope here from Earth of top of Japan is that that wouldn't happen, but the Electro Dragons headed towards the center. Now you've got a rage spell down, you've got them stalled. There's a freeze on the Giga Tesla. This is going to be a critical moment right here, Cloud.
You may have to have a second free spell here because those Electro Dragons, they get it off at the very last second. That was incredible. Now that 2-star has been secured, the percentage is higher than what we saw earlier, and he still has. Look, now he's changed it from a Wall Wrecker down to a Stone Slammer.
Is that right? Did he switch it mid-attack right there? The Wall Wrecker being taken out, Stone Slammer now, because the Wall Wrecker was that insurance policy. had the Electro Dragons failed to get to the Town Hall, then the Wall Wrecker would have done it. Now, what came out? Was that Valkyries? Yes, it was Valkyries.
We
Finally,
never
we
see the Valks
out of the Siege Machine.
We never see the Valks unless there's a last-second ditch effort to try to get that Town Hall, and that's what we're seeing here. But we didn't need it. So now we're going to see some Valkyries pick off some defenses. And look at this. I mean, there's only one air targeting defense left, and it's a multi-targeting Inferno Tower.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Vale, those dragons are very, very low in hit points, starting to go down. Now, the Inferno Tower itself is really low in hit points as well. It's down!
Oh, it goes
down!
down,
And the Electro
and
Dragon
now,
is still up!
Even if the Dragon is a Seeking Air Mine or something, that Grand Warden has enough.
out the
It looks
Chain
like
Lightning.
Valet is going to
Chain
get
Lightning.
a 3-star against
There's one
this
Archer.
anti-2-star base.
I can't believe the turn of events
Valet,
right there.
2 3-stars. There you go, Galadon.
Vale picking up the triple. Look at that. Those guys so excited, and that was so unexpected, Klaus.
We did not expect that
I
at
didn't
all.
see that until you pointed out the fact that there was only one air targeting defense left. Just the Inferno Tower and that heroic Electro Dragon. Amazing 3-star.
Wow, so they have set themselves apart. They were ahead by 2 stars going into this war for the entire round. Now they've got the 1 3-star, and Top of Japan hasn't done that yet, so they, as in Top of Japan, need to answer with another 3-star.
Absolutely. This will be their 4th of 5 attacks. Toto, who we've seen previously, he was here from March's qualifiers, so he's got some experience under the lights, in front of the cameras, on the stage, and behind the iPad, or device, whatever he's using.
Yeah, I can't see it, but I'm pretty sure
The attack's underway, and the Stone Slammer early this time going to help open up those walls for the Queen to charge in.
I just love the variety, Galadon. We're seeing Stone Slammer, the last troop deployed. We're seeing Stone Slammer, the first troop deployed. In the middle, I love these siege machines. They have changed the game so much and made it so much better because there's multiple siege machines on top of that. So just got to give it to Supercell and the dev team for keeping things nice and balanced and fresh and making sure every troop is valid, including, you see the miners here.
Exactly, another Queen Charge miner, but unfortunately that siege machine did not get in and break this inner layer of walls as it was going after that next defense. So we'll see what happens here with the Archer Queen, whether she's going to target an interior wall. After she gets this Dark Elixir drill there, she should go after, there she's going, oh, she's going for, wait, she retargeted. Oh, thanks to the jump spell there, the jump spell from Bum. Got the Queen to retarget, but she's spinning around. Now she's going after the defensive CC.
And that air defense is doing way too much work. Fortunately, he did have that jump spell as a backup plan, but you know, now with that air defense doing work and that Queen running out of health, he had to pop the Queen's ability, and every single healer is now down, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get the value out of that Queen Walk that he wanted. Now he has to really make these miners count and at least get that Town Hall.
Definitely. So you'll see the remaining funnel is going to be the Barb King at the bottom. So you'll see the miners come in from about the 10 o'clock position on the base here, going after the Town Hall first. That's going to be the safest approach. Here they come. So the Barb King, again, trying to funnel those miners in, also taking some fire from those ground targeting defenses, and your miners should be quickly on the top of that Town Hall.
You know, he wanted that funnel to be a lot thinner. That was a very wide gap of buildings to send those miners into, and fortunately the Town Hall was near the outside. But
good use of the Warden's ability right there. We talked about the Warden not being needed, the ability, but they were staying surfaced because of the defensive Barbarian King, Klaus. Critical use right there.
And that's, again, the IQ, Clash IQ of these players for paying attention to the small details and not assuming things. They're watching, they're preparing for every single option and what could go wrong and what's going right, and reacting accordingly.
Definitely, and that's going to allow those miners to survive a little bit longer, but not too long, because again, the Eagle was still up, and that was because of the fail of the Archer Queen to perform her charge duty.
Go Goblins. Look at the top of your screen, guys. That is a Goblin. Well, 2 Goblins, and they're working.
And they're gone.
Oh, man. I was really hoping the Arch Tower was busy on the Ice Golem so the Goblins could just sit there and hang out for a while. That would have been awesome, but unfortunately, you don't see a lot of Goblins in war, but at least they have a job.
That's true. And Toto from Top of Japan putting up a 67% 2-star as time is going to run out. And again, Queen Charge not quite working out, and again, seeing an Eagle Artillery working at the end of an attack, the last thing you want as an attacker.
Ouch. So without getting the 3-star, and actually the lowest percentage that we've seen in this final round, Toto not doing his clan any favors. They needed a 3-star, and now it's going to come down to their final attacker. But speaking of final attacker, we have the final attacker for Dark Looters coming out now.
All right. Let's take a look at the group update so far. Dark Looters ahead 33 stars, Quebec Fury 31, Top of Japan just behind Quebec Fury right now with 30.
Wow, so if Top of Japan gets a 0-star fail for their final attack, they will not advance. Anything above that, well, if they 1-star, they tie. But if they get the 2-star they've been aiming for, it's Top of Japan and Dark Looters in the playoffs tomorrow.
That's true. So we definitely expect to see Top of Japan put forth a low-risk attack that's certainly going to grab 2 stars, because as much as they would love to beat Dark Looters right now, they have to have their eye on tomorrow as well.
Absolutely. Now, of course, if they came out with a 3-star and beat Dark Looters, then that would definitely give them a psychological advantage going forward. And that's something that needs to be remembered, is that these clans are going to see each other again tomorrow. And there's a lot to be said for winning the previous war the day before.
Exactly. And here we go. Speaking of bases we've seen before, the famous exposed but expos clan base, as Flossie is attacking Takana's base. A pair of expos way on the outside of that town hall.
We got one little archer on the bottom. There was one archer shooting healers, and he sent an anti-archer basically to pick it off. So that was just paying attention to detail. I've been saying that. I'm going to say it again. These players pay attention to what's going on the pad or the phone, and they really do their very best to react accordingly.
You better believe that they have a plan and a method for every single troop, and they plan this down to the exact tile of where they're going to place those troops. We have not seen spam attacks. We see precision, surgical attacks time after time today.
Time after time is absolutely right. I love watching it. I'm sad that it's coming to an end now with the final 2 attacks of this round robin, but there's a lot more coming tomorrow with the playoffs, with the winners of today and tomorrow. With this attack actually going interesting. I mean, with all the bowlers going one way, the queen and the healers and a few P.e.k.a going the other way, and then some random balloons on the right.
You have random balloons, and you can see again, though, Eagle Artillery is still up, and that P.e.k.a can't get through. Another P.e.k.a is going to follow in the first one's place and also suffer to that single target Inferno. Archer Queen still alive, past 50%, but now the Eagle is up, and she's nowhere near it. She is going to need her abilities soon. She still has the ability. 1:10 left. Ouch. Look at how much damage that Eagle Artillery does on the Archer Queen.
You better believe that Flossie came into this attack knowing that all he had to do was show up, because that 2-star definitely secures their position in the playoffs tomorrow. You know, they were looking for the 3-star as usual, using their P.e.k.a smash attack, but they're happy with this 2-star. They came out, they brought it hard, and ended up on top of the whole entire group.
Yeah.
Handily.
71%, and you said it, Klaus, just like Itsu mentioned earlier, this is definitely the meta right now. Probably the most frequent attack we're seeing is a P.e.k.a smash. We saw a lot of use of bats earlier. We've seen some Queen Charge Minor, even Queen Charge Lalo, but the attack of the day has been the P.e.k.a smash.
Absolutely, and speaking of attack of the day, we have the final attack of the day, Takana, with basically he must 3-star in order to take the win over Dark Looters, assuming they have the percentage advantage, but with Toto's attack previously with being pretty low, and with that 3-star coming in with 100%, I'm not sure if who has the percentage advantage.
Well, this is going to be tight. If you see Top of Japan were to put up a 3-star right now, that would be worth, what, 20%? So that would put them at 84.6.
Wow.
So they would be ahead by 0.4% if we're seeing a 3-star right here from Takana.
Again, to reiterate what Galadon said, if Top of Japan 3-stars this, then their total destruction will be 84.6, and they will take the win. So this is all coming down to this final attack. We've got some miners coming in with some Queen Walk and a base design that, yet again, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu.
It could be, and let's watch this, as we've got a solo Hog Rider as well. So like we said in the last attack, every unit has a purpose, very specific plans. Here comes the Stone Slammer in here. It's going to open up that wall, dropping the bomb. Watch the 2 walls open up right there. Pathway now, the Archer Queen knows exactly where to go. She's going to follow in right as the Clan Castle gets activated.
There we go. So with that Stone Slammer breaking stuff through, the Queen can now charge in. She's not having to deal with it. Look at those sweepers pointing the opposite direction, so she is good to go. She can just come in, hang out with the Lava Hound, pop it, get some pups down, and then handle that air defense and potentially go through and get the Eagle Artillery.
Okay, minute 45 is ticking right now. Barb King on the left-hand side, so watch quickly for those miners to drop. Remember, a minute 30 to a minute 45, that critical window where you need to get the miners started. They're not the fastest troop, and here they come with a minute 34 left right at the town hall.
All the miners deployed at that town hall. That is a safe position to put yourself into, at least 2-star.
Oh, the skeletons were up there. The skeletons kept the miners surfaced, but p.e.k.a. used the warden's ability, and that kept the miners alive as the Giga Bomb went off, and they were all still above ground, Klaus.
And now they run into that tornado trap. Again, that miners don't care about the tornado trap, but they do definitely care about that Eagle artillery. Unfortunately, some of them split off to help out with that. Enemy Queen goes down on the right-hand side. Things are looking really good for him right now, all but the clock.
And the Eagle is still up. We're under a minute left. Good point, Klaus. Lots of miners.
Oh!
Finally, the Eagle goes down to it looked like a single miner.
It was the single miner at the very last second. That Eagle artillery goes down. That is a huge win, but if you look over on the left-hand side, there's just not that many miners left.
I just heard a big moan over there from top of Japan. I think what happened was, as that miner got down the Eagle got 3 last shots off, and those were enough to wipe out almost all of the remaining miners on that left side of the base, Klaus.
Very unlucky, very unfortunate. That Eagle artillery, huge problem to deal with in pretty much every attack strategy. But coming into this with a really high percent 2-star, you can't beat yourself up over it. I mean, it's a great attack, but just, man, to need a 3-star and just not get it to win it for your clan, that has got to be tough.
Yeah, and again, I hate to keep hammering this home, but I feel like the Eagle made the difference between the win and a 2-star right there, because that 3-star absolutely would have been critical. And again, the Eagle artillery, so much damage, 83% p.e.k.a. Great attack to close out this war.
Not the attack that they waited